happened to her?
Tell me where she is.
I can teach you to wield power, but you must let me mold you.
We're going north until we find the children have been kept captive.
We need to find Roger.
Hi everyone, episode 1 ended with Lyra and Mrs. Coulter leaving Jordan by airship, just as the Gyptians also taking off for London with their boats in search of Billy Costa. It seems episode 2 will end with Lyra getting kidnapped by Gobblers. Ma Costa doesn't believe her son was kidnapped, but Johan Faa, the leader of the Gyptians, is sure he's convinced that Billy Costa has been taken away by the Gobblers. So in episode 2, Lyra arrives in London with Mrs. Coulter. Episode 2 is titled The Idea of the North. So it seems the North is still away for Lyra, but we will be introduced to the idea of the North in this episode, which suggests that for a couple of episodes, Lyra will not be heading north. It seems until episode 4 she won't be heading north. In next 2 episodes, Lyra continues to be in and around London. However, the idea of the North will start shaping up in episode 2. So Lyra might have left Jordan College and moved to London, but she remains the same adventurous Lyra and she will continue with her adventures in Mrs. Coulter's house in London. It seems she overhears Mrs. Coulter talking to someone and then she tries to explore the house looking for more information related to that conversation. It turns out that she finds some maps, architecture maps, designs of some building, something that is being constructed somewhere in the north. This is going to be significant as when she arrives in the north, all these designs and maps would be useful for her to explore and find the secrets hidden in those buildings. Apparently, Mrs. Coulter's demon, Golden Monkey, is suspicious of Lyra. It indicates Mrs. Coulter is trying to mold Lyra the way she wants to, but she still suspects her and not sure if Lyra is blindly following her. Lyra is initially impressed by charismatic Mrs. Coulter and her glamorous life in London. However, soon she will start missing her simple and adventurous life in Jordan. She will grow suspicious of Mrs. Coulter and her true intentions. It will be interesting to see at what point she will start suspecting Mrs. Coulter. Is it when Mrs. Coulter's demon attacks Pan, Lyra's demon? I wonder if it's at that point Lyra realizes that she's not safe with Mrs. Coulter and decides to run
Lyra,
away.
did you not agree to trust me?
You're hurting us!
Now Lyra might escape Mrs. Coulter, but since she's not familiar with London like she was with Jordan, it won't be easy for her to survive in London. It seems episode 2 will end with Lyra getting kidnapped by Gobblers. We know after Billy Costa's disappearance, Gyptians had taken off for London with their boats. So at some point in episode 3, Lyra will be saved by the Gyptians. As the synopsis of episode 3 says, from the clutches of the Gobblers, Lyra finds help from an unlikely source, which helps her piece together more about her past and keep safe from the Magisterium. Another short synopsis says, after being kidnapped, Lyra finds the Gyptians. So it seems that Gyptians will save Lyra from the Gobblers, and finally Lyra will learn the truth about her parents from the Gyptians. What happened to her parents and how she ended up in Jordan College, all those questions will be answered in episode 3. She will learn more about Magisterium as well, why Magisterium doesn't like Lord Asriel, what's the connection between Mrs. Coulter and Magisterium, and why Lyra needs protection from the Magisterium. It seems Lyra will learn about all this from the Gyptians in episode 3. This implies that episode 3 will focus mostly on Lyra and her interactions with the Gyptians. It's good that we'll get to see some important Gyptian characters like Ma Costa and Johan Faa, the leader of the Gyptians. It seems when Lyra runs away from Mrs. Coulter's home, Mrs. Coulter tries to find Lyra everywhere in London, but she doesn't find her. Finally, Mrs. Coulter sends 2 spy flies to locate Lyra and gather information about her. Episode 3 is titled The Spies. Now, what are those spies and where do they come from? The Spies is the title of the 9th chapter of Northern Lights, the first book. A spy fly is a device to spy. It's sort of a mechanical insect designed to spy on someone and then return to the owner or the master of the spy with the information gathered. And even if you manage to capture the spy fly and trap it inside a box, as soon as it's released again, it attacks and kills the first person it sees. There is some evil spirit inside that spy fly, so the spy fly remains active and keep buzzing till that evil spirit is inside it. So in episodes 2 and 3, we'll see Lyra in and around London, though the idea of the North will start shaping up in episode 2, but we know the North is coming and winter is coming soon in episode 4 when Lyra will be heading north. Looks like it's in episode 4 that Lyra arrives in the North with the Gyptians. It's going to get exciting in this episode as we'll get to see aeronaut Lee Scoresby and the famous armored bear. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.